All right. I also wanted to go through these you try now questions with you. Not necessarily step by step, just so that you could copy those down. So remember, it's important to say what's your A value, your H value, and your K value. The H value is the tricky one because it has to be the value that follows the subtraction sign. So you see, like in this problem in our original is x plus 3 quantity squared. So we have to expose the negative there. So it's going to be x minus -3. So the H value is -3 because -3 follows the subtraction sign. If you want to think about it like you're taking the opposite of the number there, you can, okay? And the K value is -1. So that's my vertex, which means I got my axis of symmetry. I know it's a vertical compression because the A value is 1/2. So it's getting smushed down. It's becoming half the size. So we're pushing it down. We're compressing it. Okay, x-intercepts, we use our graphing calculator. Our y-intercept, we plug in 0. I went up by 2's in my x's. You'll see I went -7, -5, -3, -1, 1. I went up by 2's because I knew we were going to multiply it by a half because our A value is a half. So I knew those would give me nice numbers. That's why I did it that way. Okay, so there's that one. Now we get to our next word problem. Okay, pretty straightforward here. Vertex is the H and the K value. We know the vertex represents the min height or the maximum height. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the max. So the ball reaches its max height of 8 feet after 0.5 or 0.7 seconds. Okay, the initial height of the ball, we're trying to solve for height, which means we're solving for y. Okay, which means we need to know the x. And if it's the initial height, think initial is beginning, so 0 seconds have passed. So that's when I plug in 0. So this is going to be your y-intercept. Okay? And then the last question, how long will it take for the ball to hit the ground? Think that's going to be your x-intercept. Okay? It gets kicked, it hits its max height, and then because of gravity, it's coming down and it hits the ground. That's going to be your x-intercept. So that's when we use our graphing calculator for that. Okay, so another word problem for you. And then I want to go to the last page in your notes. We already filled this out for standard form. We just haven't done it for vertex form yet. So please make sure you do this because this is your one-stop shop. As you're studying for quizzes, tests, doing the homework, this is where you need to visit. Okay, so there, you'll see some similarities. So axis of symmetry and vertex are a little bit easier in vertex form. Y-intercept is a little bit harder because we got to plug in 0. We got to use our calculator and see what we get out. Okay? But from there, everything else is the same. The x-intercepts, we use our graphing calculator. It's a minimum if the A value is positive. It's a maximum if the A value is negative. If I go to transformations, all these are the same. It's a stretch if your A value is bigger than 1. So like if your A value is 3 or if your A value is -7, it's getting stretched in that direction. Okay? Reflection just means when your parabola is flipped. So that's when your A is negative. To determine whether or not you have a horizontal shift, you look at the x-coordinate of your vertex. Did it go right 3? Did it go to the left 7? Did it stay at 0? What did it do horizontally? And then similarly, you look at your y-coordinate of the vertex for a vertical shift. Okay, so that's going to wrap up all the vertex form videos. It's very important that you guys take these notes, jot them into your packet, and then email me or discuss with me on Schoology if you have any questions. Start practicing, start looking at standard form and vertex form, compare the two, make sure you're really strong at those so whenever we come back to school, we're ready to take our tests and stuff on this. All right, be safe out there.